Good morning, everyone. Let's start our lesson today. Today, we want to learn about narrative text. Okay, guys, when we talk about narrative text, we also talk about a story and the past. It can't be separated each other because narrative text is about that. I'm sorry, sir. I want to ask you. Can you explain me about narrative text that we talk about in the first? That's good question, Janet. Okay, I will explain you about what is narrative text. Did you know what narrative text actually is? Narrative text is a text focusing on specific participant. It's a piece of text that tells a story with complication or problematic events with resolutions to solve the problems. Okay, I'll make an explanation about narrative text. Someone with a problem or complication that the problem is getting worse, so that get desperate, and it make a trouble for him, and then he try to find a resolution for his problem. So when the problem is solved, it can make more better than before. So a narrative text is talk about a problems, then the problems getting worse, and then he find a resolution about the problem, then it get the climax. So it solved the problem itself. Ha 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 ha. That's funny, sir. About the explanation, you can imagine a person to be a narrative about narrative text. That's a good idea, sir. I got it and I understand more about narrative text. Okay, guys, you already know about the definition of the narrative text, so we will go to the next. I will explain about the generic structure. That generic structure contain many steps. Oh, I'm so excited, sir. I'm very interested. And can you explain me about the steps of the what is the generic structure contain? That contain many steps. Like what? Okay, Brian. That's a good question. Let me take a break for a second, and I will explain you about the generic structure further. Okay, let's start about the generic structure. First, we will meet with orientation. You can call it with the beginning of the story because here the characters are introduced and it is about the set scene. That's why it's called the beginning of the story. Next is complication. Mm, Here it will add new problems and add new conflicts that leads to the climax of the story. So here the story is on the worst part. That next this part is the most interested to listen to the audience. The third part is resolution that we can call it the end of the story because here the story is the problem of the story, the complication is solved. So the story is getting better from here. Mm, good, good to the readers. In narrative text also have language features. Every kind of text in English has its language features. There are some language features used in narrative text. First is simple past tense. In simple past tense, you need to recall back to the beginning that narrative text tells us about past experiences, which means you must use simple past tense. Then, figurative language and also progressive verbs. In narrative text, we tell of series of events. That's why it's used figurative language and progressive verbs. It also uses temporal conjunctions because each sentence or paragraph are continuing each other, so there must be a connection between those paragraphs and sentences. It also uses dialogues to express attitudes, personality. Sorry, sir. Um, why we must develop a narrative text? It what's for? What's the function of narrative text? Nice question, Brian. Okay, I will tell you the purpose or function of narrative text because every text has its function. I will explain it for the narrative text. First, narrative text, the purpose or the function is to tell a story of something or someone from the past and to entertain the readers or the listeners. Okay, that's the narrative text. We already talked about narrative text, so may you enjoy it and grab and read your text and have fun.